Never thought I'd be making this video. So Jake Paul will be fighting Mike Tyson on July 20th in AT&T Stadium. That's the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I've actually been there in person before, and that place is fucking huge. And you would think the number 112 cruiserweight in the world and number 14th ranked cruiser in the US, that's not a joke by the way, who also claims he wants to be a boxing world champion, you'd think he'd fight someone in their prime who would present some sort of challenge, but nope, he's fighting the 58-year-old, by the time this fight happens, near 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is collecting old men like they're the Infinity Stones, and his opponents just keep getting older. He first beat the 40-year-old Tyron Woodley, then the 50-year-old Anderson Silva, and now he's facing the 60-year-old Mike Tyson. When is he going to stop? Is he just going to keep going? Is next a 70-year-old, an 80-year-old, a 100-year-old? And I just don't understand why Mike Tyson would take this fight. Maybe it's to fund his booger sugar addiction. I know he's had issues managing his money in the past. And surprisingly, I see a lot of people saying that this fight is going to be competitive or that Mike is going to beat Jake Paul. And I guess it's because he's got the experience on Jake Paul, and there's videos of him hitting pads at his old age, and he still looks pretty good on the pads. But then again, anyone can look good on the pads. But he's still almost 60 years old, 25 years outside of his athletic prime. He hasn't had a real fight since 2005. The only fight he's had since then is that glorified spar with Roy Jones Jr., which Jake Paul was actually on the undercard of. And I've seen plenty of videos, and Mike just doesn't look like he's in the best health. I've seen him walking with a cane. At his age, with all that brain damage he's accumulated throughout his entire career, there's no way he has the chin to take a clean shot from Jake Paul. Now, if this was prime Mike Tyson, obviously he would mop the floor with Jake. Mike Tyson in his prime was unstoppable. He would just walk forward, land uppercuts, land hooks, and knock Jake out in the first round. But this is a guy who is 30 years out of his prime, facing a guy who I think is 27, in the middle of his athletic prime. And Jake Paul claims he wants to be a world champion in boxing. It looked like he was going to go that route for a bit, where he did face two pro boxers. Now, these guys' records were very padded, and they were not very good, and I think Jake knocked them both out in the first round. But for a minute there, it did look like Jake was done with the crossover fights, done fighting retired MMA fighters, and was actually going to make a run at a world title, and now he's doing this. And this is just a circus show. I don't know how beating up a 60-year-old would look good for Jake. It doesn't get him closer to a world champion. It makes him a lot of money, but he's already got money. He doesn't need more. I have no clue how much Mike is training nowadays. There are videos of him hitting the pads, but there's no way he's training consistently. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. And we still don't know whether this will go on their pro records or whether it will be an exhibition match. Right now it is listed as an exhibition match, but I heard they're still deciding between the two. Imagine this is a pro fight and you're scrolling through Mike Tyson's record, looking at all the legends he's faced, like Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, and you just see Jake Paul right there. I never in a million years thought this would happen. I know there's been talks of Mike fighting Logan and Jake for like 3 years now, but I never thought it would actually happen. And maybe this will just be a glorified spar, sort of like the Roy Jones Jr. fight was. I mean, it's on Netflix. It's not even a pay-per-view. It's currently an exhibition. It's in the Dallas Cowboy Stadium, which is what, 80, 90,000 people? I don't know. It just seems like this is going to be more of a spectacle than a real fight. But as an early prediction, assuming this is a real fight and both guys are going to go out there and try to knock the other one out, I see Jake Paul flatlining Mike. I don't see Mike taking an overhand right or a left hook from Jake. Like I said, there's no way Mike still has a chin. He's 60 years old almost. He'll be 58 when this fight happens. He's got all that head trauma and brain damage throughout his entire career and all those wars he was in when he was younger. Even though he doesn't look bad on the pads, and a lot of these pad videos are from years ago before he was fighting Roy Jones Jr., but even though he doesn't look bad on them, he still looks slow, he looks stiff, which is obviously going to happen as you get older. But I see Mike having a hard time hitting Jake, who is going to be substantially faster at this point, and even if he does land on Jake, I don't know if Mike Tyson still has power like that. So I think more likely than not, assuming this is a real fight, Jake Paul will knock Mike Tyson out pretty early, first, second, third round, somewhere around there, which is very sad, and it's kind of a bad look. Imagine Jake does go in there, flatlines Mike Tyson, puts another loss on his pro record. It's just not a good look. Yeah, it would be a crazy spectacle. Yeah, it would make Jake and Mike a ton of money, bring Jake a ton of new fans, but just beating up a guy that old, I get it, it's Mike Tyson, but this isn't Iron Mike Tyson. This is a Mike Tyson who probably doesn't train too much nowadays. I just don't think it's a great look, and Jake wants everyone to take him seriously. I think he wants respect from the boxing community more than anything, and I think this does the opposite of that. The more Jake does these gimmicky fights, the less people that are going to respect him as an actual boxer boxer. I mean, I think he's ranked 2 spots behind Vidal Riley, who is a regional champion. Why doesn't Jake go fight that guy? I think we all know, because Vidal Riley would steamroll Jake. But yeah, I don't think this is a good look for Jake. And if this is a real fight and he goes in there and knocks Mike Tyson out in the first round with 1 punch, it's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of disrespectful to boxing. Hopefully Mike doesn't come out of there with too much brain damage. But anyways, that is the end of the video. If you're new here and you did enjoy, please be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next few months. We're getting very close. Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Like the video if you didn't enjoy. Leave your opinions on this fight in the comments down below. As I said, I don't really like it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.